So I thought it would be fun to go back in time a bit and watch some older Korean dramas. For this, I randomly selected the year 2010 because it's a nice round number, and it seems that there's quite some of these dramas that are still available on streaming services. Um, and in this video, I'm just sort of going through the process of figuring out what to watch. And I thought I'd upload it in case you'd like to join me for the challenge. And I will try to upload future videos with reviews of the dramas that I've watched. But this video is just going to be going through the selection process. So obviously we want to look at a Korean drama. I'm using Drama Wiki. I'll leave a link in the description below. For the other selection criteria, I'm sort of choosing dramas that started in 2010, which is a bit of a personal choice, but basically that means, for example, that this drama here that started in 2009 will be excluded. And then obviously we'll need them to be available for streaming. And for sort of the initial selection, I was thinking I would try to find some series that are somewhat known. So I did look up, or did do some Googling and look at recommendations or ratings for this year to see which dramas were potentially popular. So for my first round of selections, that's sort of what I'll be focusing on. So yeah, let's start. So on the right, we have a bunch of dramas. The problem with some of them is that these ones at the top were aired every single weekday for months in a row, which means that basically it's a ton of episodes, and I don't think I'm up for that many. So that basically means that these are all going to be dramas that I'm not watching. And then for the other ones, actually I have not really heard a lot about any of them. So I think for now, the safest choice, or at least the choice I'm going to make, is also not including any of these. But fortunately, there are a lot of other ones on the list, and it continues for a while, for a bit longer. So God of Study is one that might be interesting. I've heard good things about it, and I have not seen it yet. Another one that I was thinking about is maybe this one, which I've also not seen yet. Then there is Sung Kyung Kwan's Scandal. I have seen this in the past. And then Mary Stayed Out All Night is something that I think I started at some point, but I don't think I actually finished it. But it might be interesting to see how I think about it now. Then this actually is quite a good list. There's 3 of them at the top: Juno, Cinderella's Sister, and King of Baking. I think all of them were relatively popular, so I'll try to watch those if possible. Then on the other side we have the too many episodes again. And then I would say for the other ones that we have left, I actually don't really know any of them, I think. So I will go on to the next page for now. So then we have, I would say, the first 2 that are potentially interesting. So Pasta, I think I've seen this one before, but it's been a really long time, so I don't remember that much of it. And then Dongi might be interesting. This one, I think I started this one but never really finished it, so I might want to finish this one. And then another one I've seen is Mischievous Kiss. Not sure if I want to rewatch that one, to be honest. Let's see, and then on the other side, I think none of these. They're actually also weekdays for this one and also for this one and this one, so that basically means we're not watching any of these for this challenge at least. Then let's see. This one would have been interesting, the first one, but it doesn't start in 2010, so I think this one I heard some good things about. And then I think that's actually it for this page. But we're not finished yet, so more than enough, I think, to potentially watch. So I've watched this one previously. I quite enjoyed this one, actually. I've also watched this one before. This one might be interesting, I'm not sure, but I'll just put it on the potential list for now. And for some variation, I'm thinking maybe this one might be interesting to watch. Then a medical series could be fun. I have seen this one before, and I have not seen this one, and I think this one was quite popular, so I think that one should definitely be on the list. And then I think we continue for the next page. And here it starts off with some weekday series, which we don't want. Just thinking like whether there's any of them. So I've seen this one before actually. And I actually remember really liking it, but I've also heard that maybe it hasn't aged very well, so I would be interested to see what I think about it if I watch it again. So that one is probably fun to put on the list. And then out of these, I would say this one I've heard good things about. So that one might be fun to include as well. And then this is basically the last bit that we have, and I'm thinking maybe this one, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, I think that's everything, or at least that's the selection of the 2010 dramas that we potentially would like to watch. So for the ones that I've previously watched, I think there's some of them that I would like to rewatch again, like Secret Garden. I also really like Stars Falling from the Sky. And then there's some like Mary Stayed Out All Night and Personal Preference that I haven't completed, but I watched part of it. But we'll see. I don't want to have too many repeats. It would be more fun, I think, to watch some newer series. So there's quite a few options here as well. However, I guess the most important thing is, are these series actually available to watch? So for this, I'm basically checking my drama list. So here I have the example for Secret Garden, and then usually at the bottom you will have a bunch of options where you can potentially watch. This does not mean that it's definitely available, so I always have to click through, and then sometimes it will still say like, oh yeah, we have this, but actually it's not available in your country. So yeah, availability varies a bit, but I've gone through all of the ones that were on the list and sort of am left with this list. So the list is not as long as I was maybe expecting or hoping it to be. So I might check back and see if there's some additional ones that I could potentially watch. And I think for now I will at least try to watch sort of the 6 on the left. these ones because these are the ones that are new to me, and I think this is an interesting selection at least. And then for these, the ones that I've seen, I think they're all sort of very like the romantic type of series. A lot of them are a bit, well, not all of them, but some of them are like very fluffy romances, and I'm not sure if they're sort of worth rewatching, to be honest. So I think the one that we said we would rewatch was at least Secret Garden, just to see what we think about it now, and a personal preference. And I guess theoretically we have to choose 2 more, but I'm really not so sure. I think Pasta maybe, because I don't remember that much. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, I'll sort of think about the other ones and see if maybe I can find another like fun series that I didn't select out of the large list in the first place. But I think I'll just start off with what we have and sort of see where we end up. So I think that's sort of my selection. I'm curious if you're deciding to join me in the challenge, what your selections are, or if you have any recommendations for me. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll come back once I've seen some of the series and I'll tell you what I think about them. So that's it for now. See you next time.